It is never about the country, but the country has an opportunity to impeach him. I'm going to read you, Heidi, from the one article of impeachment. Resolved that Donald Trump, President of the United States, is impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors, and that the following article of impeachment be exhibited to the United States Senate. In his conduct of the office of the President of the United States and in violation of his constitutional oath faithfully to execute the office of President of the United States and to the best of his ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, and in violation of his constitutional duty to take care that the laws be faithfully executed, Donald Trump engaged in high crimes and misdemeanors by willfully inciting violence against the government of the United States of America. Goes on to detail how he incited that deadly mob. 5 people have now lost their lives. Quote, he also willfully made statements that encouraged and foreseeably resulted in imminent, lawless action at the Capitol. Incited by President Trump, a mob unlawfully breached the Capitol, injured law enforcement personnel, menaced members of Congress and the vice president, interfered with the joint session's solemn constitutional duty to certify the election results, and engaged in violent, deadly, destructive, and seditious acts. Heidi Przybyla.
Nicole, this is a pretty narrow article, and this may not be the final product. We're told right now these are only Democrats signing on to this. I know from my own reporting there is a group of Democrats trying to get Republicans like Adam Kinzinger, who's also come out against the president, to sign on. But they're dealing with a lot of Republicans who supported this effort in the first place in the House. Now, that doesn't mean they don't have the votes there, but it also comes at the same time that the Department of Justice is now saying they're not going to pursue charges based on basically the same type of charges that are being made here in this one article. So it is still to be determined what exactly this will look like on Monday, if they will add additional examples in here, like the phone call that he had with the Georgia Secretary of State, whether they will get more Republicans to sign on. But I can tell you this, Nicole, based on my own reporting, that no matter how this ends, even if they succeed in getting this article passed or some other article passed here in the House and it falls flat in the Senate, which it may very well do, because we've already heard from Senator Romney saying that he thinks that this should just play out, that president should just go, and doesn't necessarily support this. But no matter how it ends, again, Democrats feel such pressure to at least go through this exercise, given everything that this nation has seen, and then for people to see, not just the instigators and the protagonists here, that this would be unpunished and left without any kind of even a slap on the wrist. They feel compelled. They've got to do this. They've got to at least begin this process. It began, Nicole, really as a threat to try to get the cabinet to do something, to try to get Mike Pence to do something. But it's become clear in the past 24 hours that is not going to happen, with Pence not even taking the speaker's call initially when she called, Nicole. So this will play out on Monday, but they're going to definitely at least go through the exercises and the steps here.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.